People are calling it a diss song. It is harsh. I'll say that because it hurt my heart when I was like, "Ooh, I would hate for somebody to." I would not want to go back and forth with Sark on a situation like this. What made you decide this was the move that you were going to make, as far as addressing this book where it was referenced you had made a woman have an abortion?
You are welcome to Classic Entertainment Gist. I told you, sir, we are going to give it to you this interview fully. Interview ni na media mount. Ewa kakra. Yes, we done no crown. It lasted for about 34 minutes, but I will try as much as possible, even though me comedian would she said the beya. Obeti asie na won so na ebia what asiem. Na wanya gist ni na yi. Said the interview ni sikoy. It started with said the introduction by Angela and Shella or Mosha Sia Angela Esha Sia Tutu Unia Anon Kakram Obisano. Say, now Ghana they have to say we know you're the biggest artist. What do you say about it? Sarkodie say everyone know the cause. Now who followers do? We know you're the first Ghanaian and what hit it. 1 million views. Sorry, million subscribers. With YouTube. And Kwambe no for so yes man. You let's listen to the answers as Sarkodie Edim Mana they na feel you chip in as the interview goes on. No, I'll chip in and then questions and I said you obisa no fire be and so no my chishroom. I want to kwan so pepe said the beya Simbia Emma home. Now so no who interview me. Dito. So I will not waste much time. Let's go with the interview and then we go. Stay tuned for the first question and the introduction by the first question.
C9 Cemetery, don't test.
Very special guest from Ghana. Let me say his name right, Sarkodie. Yes. Sarkodie, but we're gonna call you Sark for the rest of the interview.
I feel you, I understand.
But welcome to Way Up with Angela Yee, and I really appreciate having you here. You have such a huge following. Some people would say that you are the biggest artist from Ghana.
I don't want to say that.
But some people would say that.
Yes.
Because you're very humble. You're also the first artist from Ghana to reach 1 million subscribers on YouTube.
That just happened. Shouts to the fan base, they updated me on that. You know, I'm really bad with keeping up with my own self. And I saw it on Twitter that I hit 1 million, which is great.
That's what's up. What is your secret to connecting with people the way that you have?
I think I came in the game by default through the back door, meaning I didn't come through media, really, because I was trying to literally come as a commercial artist and have my songs on the radio. But that didn't happen because the type of music I was doing at the time was not what was happening at the time. It was like super commercial, high life music that was dominating. And I was rapping on sometimes kicks without no bass line, just raw, what I felt. So I had to take to social media. So that's when I built a following. And I also used to do rap battle on the radio station in Ghana. So that kind of built my followers because they used to vote every Saturday. I had to battle over 20 something MCs. Kind of came on top all the time.
That's so, that is pressure.
Yes.
Okay.
So I built a following that cared about the journey because they were part of it from day one till now. So it's a bit of it's beyond just having a hit record. It's more of we know that's our guy sitting there. Yeah.
So let me chip in here. What you say, Sarkodie can obisa no kind of fans who team building a fan base into this level. No, Adia Sarkodie can ultimate say we artists now, a young artist now. In case also person to me more followers you can steal from Sarkodie because rap battles now it goes on. Meaning say some of these young artists they organize these kind of rap battles now feel omoko. With that when you are able to flow very well we don't say what mean your followers they become very dedicated. I'm a fighter so so that's how Sarkodie say team building the fan base and I think say once you know to me taking note of it now you study something like that now let's go on. This day you're still independent, right?
Yes.
Sheesh, that is amazing for you to have accomplished just even the international superstardom that you have being independent. You know, is there a situation where you feel like you would sign to a major label?
I said that girl no be say I would also independent. Who dey who I said dey be and share that show should be say. Na ana who feel say and I say unya in case unya record label be a ono obi person signing you to a record label. Will you do it until the Sarkodie kind?
To be very honest, I really wanted to in the beginning. I still would love to. I think partnership is good. It just has to make sense to you. So in the beginning, that's what I was looking for. It started in Ghana. Even in Ghana, I was looking for a label in Ghana because I've never been signed even in Ghana. So the type of music I was doing, as I said, people did not believe that I was going to sell. So I had to do stuff on my own. So just being able to do stuff and flipping back to back, I got used to it. So it's my own being stubborn. That's why I don't involve people coming in.
Some people miss the bag then, because I'm sure those people that you had an opportunity to sign with.
I know, right?
I know they're like, damn, we missed the bag.
And I still see a couple of them, but I think it's just it's meant to be that you were supposed to be in charge of what you're doing.
Right.
You can't fight it, because I didn't understand why people did not want to sign me. Because there were a lot of people around them that I felt I could have done better, but I always get passed on. You know, so then I had to do it myself. I paid my first video with my first paycheck.
Sheesh.
I remember it was a beauty pageant in Ghana where I got my first paycheck, and then I shot my first video with that. So then I built that flipping of money till date. So I'm used to it. I'm not saying that's the best way all the time.
It's just work for you.
Yeah, sometimes you need a weight off you, which I feel sometimes that I wish I could have like a backbone that could take care of certain things that I don't have to think about too much, because it's a lot. Being a creative person and also thinking about me being here, how to navigate my way around and all of that. So it's pressure, but sometimes I enjoy it. But
I like that you hit me directly. Like,
yes.
I think that's a nice personal touch to be able to reach out and be like, hey, I want to, you know, and I'm like, yeah, absolutely. So as far as you though, people did see something in you though, because that was why you managed to get collaborations early on and everything. There were people who were like, yo, he's really, really dope. So for you helping out other artists, because you also have artists that were signed to you,
yes.
right? So talk.
Yes, and she had done a business. Say you have other artists amongst who was signing to you who record label. Now, as an artist, I was signing other artists. It's not easy. How do you manage this? And I say, how do you do it? Until the Sarkodie.
What it's like to be a boss when it comes to dealing with other people, because that's not an easy situation. I feel like being an artist and having artists signed to you, sometimes it's harder than anything because they relate to you in a different way and have a different type of expectation.
True, you said it so right. So what I realized was, because I'm an artist, I feel for them. And I feel like I would like to give them what I would want if I had a situation, because I'm probably one of the few labels that gave a 50-50 percentage while I was putting in the money. You know, because that's what I would have loved for myself.
I wouldn't do that. No.
You know, so all my artists had
my money back first.
Yes, all my artists had a very good run with me, and till date they still get paid, though they are not on my my label. So yes, I just felt at a certain point I needed to look out for other artists. What I was looking for when I was coming, which I didn't get, I had to like do it for other artists. But in Africa, or maybe I can limit it to Ghana, the resources are not that strong for an artist to be able to sign an artist. You know, it's a lot of pressure. So what I did after them is to take my time and get things right before I would sign somebody officially to become the one to run to when you need something, because it's a lot of, it's a lot of responsibility. So now I kind of like endorse or co-sign people and then let them go. Right. To figure their own stuff out, because I enjoy the liberty of being free and I want other artists to feel like that. So
that's what's up.
Yeah.
Now let's get into the meat of this.
Somewhat you who the Sarkodie signed the other artists now they were so now. As at now, crown there are some people are still Chiomoka even though they are not with him. Meaning, say it was something like maybe a 50-50 game. The other one who be you also have to have a share in it. So what I say, Sarkodie is an artist. It means say he has a good mentality when it comes to say for artists in Ketwana, for Munya Juma, and I promote to Omwa. Sarkodie is somebody you can say he's good on that because he has taken some of these artists in Ghana. What me and your more even though later nonsense be it may be baby china the answer maybe a mono any tin tamu But yet the guy is good. He had the mentality. The one of his songs are Otumi young talents by the ewo ho feature omunyina on that song, you know, Otumi say na a hit. And you could see his mentality no towards young artists, you know, good. And he had what kind of say ono no akwanya na wanya from onset no. Ashasia no said the wanya no haya no open senka obetumi aye de aboa foforo na omoba no. Na nka ono no opportunity na wanya the beginning no obetumi de ama. But enough of it's very hard because when dealing with people, you have to be very careful. Nipa oye manene china wanya na sa pe obeshasi blame you. So what you need. So it's very serious. Let's listen to the interview. No girl not twice so ebisa no. Ni decision ultimately a man no the this song now with Yvonne Nelson. I think that they are going there now. Let's listen to what happened.
The most recent song you put out is called Try Me.
Try Me.
I cannot believe you did that because I feel like you try your hardest to not engage in like even doing press, you know, and you've even said that you like to keep your personal life separate from you as an artist. But in this particular situation, you've had to address things that have been said about you, right?
So, question I get no be a very delicate question. I say, nah, this song, who said, one should have planned interview, beer, or some nearby, and like media, and only on one should then name Komobia. And I also said, yes, new Sarkodie, and who knew beer, man, go business life with one Kazanga, personal life. But this one we saw say it was to you, your personal life, but yet you reacted to it. Oh, why? This girl is bad.
What was your decision in making this song? People are calling it a diss song, but I feel, and it is harsh. I'll say that because it hurt my heart when I was like, "Ooh, I would hate for somebody to." I would not want to go back and forth with Sark on a situation like this. But what made you decide this was the move that you were going to make, as far as addressing, this book where it was referenced you made a woman have an abortion?
To be very honest, it's a sensitive conversation that the reason why I didn't do no media around or press around it is because I know I might lose how I would like to present what I feel about it. Mm-hmm. So normally this is not the first time I've done records to address certain issue or maybe a line or two in a record because I don't know, there's certain energy I hate to feed into, especially speaking about it because I might lose my cool. So with this situation, yes, exactly. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm super proud of everything. It's just in the moment how I felt, whether it be my truth, there should have been a way that you could have said it. That's why I don't like to speak about it because this is a conversation between two people, but then we could have a conversation if you want to talk about it because it involves me as well. Right. But because people know that Sark doesn't speak, people think they can say something and no, Sark is not going to speak and then it's going to get away with it. Yeah, So once in a while, you just
let them poke the bear. Poke the bear. And because I'm the same way. If people talk crazy about me, I don't like to address things because I feel like it gives it way more life. Exactly. And I see people do it all the time. And instead of me engaging in a back and forth, I'm like, you know what? Go ahead, I'm going to just keep on doing my thing and not let anybody knock me off my square. True. But this time you said, it wasn't a line or two. So I want to know, who did you let hear this first? Was anybody in the studio with you when you did this?
Funny.
Please.
My team is here. They're all like, people think my team is in support of what I did or did the record. None of them knew I did the record.
I want to chip in here and tell you something. So, Kaya, I've said it in the former video, Ankasa. So, you see, I said this, I asked this question. Sarkodie, this Try Me song, why no Bisano? And Tracy, were you aware of this song? So, Kaya, I asked this question, in my first reaction to Sarkodie and Try Me song, and I buy, me reacted to. This is what I asked. Because in fact, it was harsh. Some of the words were harsh. And in here, Sarkodie is explaining how it happened. So any team know they weren't aware.
On tour. I'm actually on tour when it happened. Yes. So, and sometimes when I feel something, then the lyrics is gonna come right there and then. So, I sneaked into the studio to even record this. I didn't let nobody hear it because I didn't want to hear no advice. Right. I just literally want to do what I felt at that point. And face the consequences later on. But it wasn't like the whole team sat down and said, this is good to go. I did it personally for myself.
They probably was like, what are you doing? I can imagine those phone calls and text messages.
A lot of phone calls. So in the heat of the moment, the person that I didn't hear from, which normally she would have been the first person to hit me, is my lawyer. So early morning, I was trying to tease her, and I said, Mama C, so don't you care about what's happening? Because you would hit me up and say, what are we doing? But the sad news is she was dead at the same time.
What?
So I see 2 ticks go. I didn't hear, of course, she would respond like within 5 minutes.
Wow.
It took hours, and then I heard she's no more. So
oh my God, that's awful.
Like a very tough time within that short period.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Good.
And I say, I Sarkodie can say, like, when it came, no, on one or an idea, or on one coy an idea. Studio opera no obiano ho no kwhye ho ye na recording nanka in normal circumstances no issues like this no nipa nanka otumi eneni di ho nkomo pa kesipa no ne lawyer friends mama see something like that I'll go needing you but or send a message edema woman no say mommy na aseba ba dia wo nka ho hwiu na wo feel say be react to an I be ka ho asema na but then my message in marquee 2 but yet no response came and can normally and normal circumstances not send the woman any messenger I say mommy messenger eba or man reply in 10 but then lawyer na man reply via sana lawyer no free so if you don't know Sarkodie's lawyer is gone and it was in the heat of Yvonne Nelson bruhaha na muna Sarkodie ne lawyer no so e free mo nyame fa ne kra NCA yes onwane dem onwane je intino it was a sad moment for him and in the interview Sarkodie will tell you say he cried that was the first time and I said me can say one of the moments usuye
I'm really sorry.
Ooh, so she would have been somebody who I know wouldn't endorse that situation of how I wanted to handle it, but I just felt like it, like this. I normally don't do it, but this, to me, I think I'll get to a point where I can speak freely about it. I think it's still fresh that I still want to process it before I can really speak. You know.
And this is something that happened like a really long time ago. Yeah. So this is something that she brought back up. And then I know in interviews you don't even really like to address things like this, but since you put the song out, and it felt like somebody leaked it first.
Yes.
And so maybe you didn't even intend to put it out. Okay, that's what I was thinking. Okay. So you're like, well, it's here now.
In the middle of the night,
okay.
Where I was, it was like very late, I think 2 a.m. And then I see Twitter going crazy and people putting out the record.
Oh, so dang.
I have no idea because I didn't give it to. So I have like 2-3 people that I don't want to suspect. You know, it's going to create some energy because I did it just to hold on to it and see if I'm going to release it. But then when it came out, I was like, let me just put it out. Yeah.
Do you do that?
I say Sarkodie can see me mention and TLC. My interview now several times, but how mention and TLC in a way the Sarkodie is trying to say he didn't release the song Sankasa himself because it was like Obine releasing it without his notice. I don't know, but then it was on his own YouTube channel. Reactions na dia but then Sarkodie is saying in a way say no one spread the idea and I say go release I can suck instead you anyways I suspect some 2 people are also say omonoma ade no call virus but then person be body and just say no so be say go for as a fraba only chia obodi ni nko ade a reaction beba ntini Sarkodie say what so e was akwan no so and the next question I lady nebisa no say do you normally reply or react to issues like this when they come and I say this is the first time and often like if something goes on and you're like let me just do a song about it and then kind of put it away like kind of like a getting something off your chest diary because you do come from that school of rap battling. So when something makes you mad I can see you instead of writing it down you might just be like let me just go in the booth and do something.
I express myself well when I do music. I think I say the best if I do music. If I speak about it, I don't know if I'm a good person that express himself well.
Right.
I can talk about my life or whatever, but there's certain situations I know that I might lose my cool. Things I'm very passionate about, it's hard for me to speak about it. Because I'll be lost. Even in the thought, I'll be all over the place. Conversations like even talking about my people and how our music and how we're supposed to survive and do this. I care so much about it that when I speak about it, because of the passion and emotions I have for it, I might not be able to get to the point. But when I do a record, I have time to really say exactly what I want to say. So when something happens, I feel like, let me just do a record. Or most people are lucky. Sometimes it will be a line or two in a verse.
a little stab.
But if I do a whole joint for you, that means a few times I've done that. I think this is the second time I've done like a record on one particular situation. That should tell you that this
non-living thing.
Non-living thing. It wasn't a similar situation, but it's not exact.
Right. I mean, it was a heartbreak type of.
Yes, because I faced that time ago.
And it feels like that was about a particular person or in situation.
I don't think so, because I didn't. With Try Me, I knew what I was doing. Not living thing, I didn't.
Okay.
But then you can see yourself that something is creeping in that you don't know that's what you're talking about.
Okay, you were just expressing emotion, and then it was kind of bringing up feelings of a breakup.
That's creeping to it, because what I was saying was exaggerated. I've not faced that before, but there are similar things in there that I've seen. But so that wasn't like towards anybody. So it's a funny story. I did which never came out. I did a whole project around the time where I had a situation with this girl that we broke up, and I didn't know how bad it creeped into my creativity, because the whole album was towards me speaking about women in a certain type of way. Different version. Right. But it was all kind of like, I didn't notice it until the whole project was done. I was listening to it. I'm like, what's different about the songs? It's the same thing, just different angles. So something like that I didn't know, but it was creeping into the writing. Okay. So not everything could be that, but I didn't think about somebody because the hook was given to me by Oxlade. Okay. So it's a beautiful song. People love that song. And I think, do you feel like as the further you've gone in your career, the more you've been able to open up about emotions and telling more about yourself? I'm still
Maminka hai kakra sama go ni bisa Sarkodie ede kofifa Sarkodie. I'm saying this non-living thing. It's like it was a love story. And this girl was creeping, saying, okay, this was so something like that. And it is something that Sarkodie actually it is linking to Yvonne Nelson issues, because those times now the Ejana and Sembibri, what they are saying, and on the new issues in Sensation. But then Sarkodie's one going home. So all should I non-living thing, because going to be done say why you be pain, why react to and now I'm a reply be pain. As I call the sometimes it happens, but we are lucky, dear. Maybe I want to amount too much of assembly. Maybe I not a baby 2 lines, baby. Just why you're lucky, no. But when you're lucky, then off a pant and as is all better on the and Yvonne now what you into Sunny Yvonne and you're lucky, I acquire, there's only not quite far pant and as is all better and some of them Yvonne. Not the choice, same Edema Yvonne, so I did. And that was it on that note. Okay, and to us with the interview, no questions, and the girl flew too much. Not good with that. I still put limitations to it, but I definitely love music that makes you feel something. Right. Yes. Where do you think that comes from for you? I seen as in like putting those limitations on yourself. Why do you think that you do that? It looks like maybe as a limit be as a restrain from certain things be when you like lifestyle no boy. Yeah, I think I just figured out a way to guard myself. I don't know what the reason is, but I still find a way to guard myself. So I kind of like turn myself vulnerable to few people that I would have to care that much if something happens. So my mental state with even the industry, I don't really have people that I count on.
too much, so I don't get hurt easily
Right.
to break my whole process.
Right.
So few people, close family, the team, few people around me that I'm vulnerable to, that I know these guys can really break me when something happens, but I don't make it too much, especially with the industry. So it's rare that you find Sarkodie having an issue with anybody in the industry, because I feel like nobody owes you nothing. If they choose to support, that's okay. So I never have grudges with people. I never start, because I don't think you owe me anything.
Right.
That whole, I don't think it's a persona, but it's like a shield for my own peace.
I just ask that because sometimes it is how we were raised, like in our families. Because I know for me, like my family is not very emotional, and so I can be really guarded about certain things too.
Okay.
You know, just because we weren't raised that way to be super expressive and like saying everything that we feel all the time.
Right. Versus
Probably
me.
that too.
Yeah. You said what?
Versus me.
Yeah.
I'm the opposite.
No, Charlotte will tell you everything. She'll start crying right now.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm just very vocal, so
Okay.
but I also can relate to like when somebody's steady poking. You know what I'm saying? It's like music, and I just said that it's a form of expression. So you just making stuff, and it's just like you just saying what's on your mind, and it goes there.
Listen, I think that's the end of that, because after this song, I don't know if I would ever want to battle you about anything, because y'all got to listen to it. We'll play some of it that we can.
I like it.
You said I like it.
I liked it. I think
Has she responded at all?
I have no idea.
And I said, the girl is asking Sarkodie, has Yvonne, and I said, Angela is asking Sarkodie, has Yvonne responded to this this song? You know, Yvonne, Sarkodie said, hey, Sark, are you telling me, Yvonne is about to Michael, yes, so much, Sarkodie, hey, no, blah, you go the obwa, blah, the obwa. Allah, I mean, you party.
No, like has anybody said? Because I know your followers will tell you. And it hasn't been
I haven't,
anything.
like, when I put it out, I wasn't looking for, I did it because I want to do it. I'm not looking for a reaction, you know.
But you didn't even intend to really put it out either.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm
That
not really
too.
looking out for it and trying to like figure out, well, who said what. I just said it and that's it.
Now I gotta ask you this, because you are married, right?
Mm-hmm.
What did your wife say about all this? And did
Now what they about you? Oh boy, I tell you, go the sack. Sack, oh boy, you what? And Angela Bisa said, now wife so know what was her reaction? Then all year far home. Then now also take situation.
know in advance, or did she find out with everybody else?
To be honest, I really still don't want to like speak about that, but I think she handled it the way that I didn't think she was going to be able to handle it. You know, she was cool about it. She cared more about how I was feeling, which was,
That's great.
you know, she was like if I was good because I was on tour. So that was her worry about how I was feeling.
Because she knows it's out of character too. It's not like you just be firing off on people.
Yeah, she knows that it takes a lot for me to speak. Because to be very honest, the reason why I don't speak, which might sound a certain type of way, but I feel like nobody's really worth my response, which has always been my stance. Because if it should be somebody that I'm going to benefit from, even if I don't want to respond, I will respond because I'll benefit out of it. But most times, the people that speak about Sarkodie, if I look at them from top to bottom, I'm like, is it really worth it for me to go back and forth with this person? You know, that's the main reason why I don't speak. And I'm beyond. When I started the journey, I cared a lot about what people said, and then I realized that it actually doesn't change anything. People said a lot about Sarkodie. I was not going to be able to be on this platform rapping in my native language. I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to do a show in the States. I took the BET award. Like, so now when I hear people speak, I'm like, you're just saying something. It's not going to change anything. So
Yeah,
it's not worth it.
you've done a lot of firsts.
Yeah.
Yes.
When it comes to what it is that you do too, and even like you said, being able to rap in your native language, and all,
Never ask for any second in I'm going to you. I say, I don't know the any public can on shut down for whom be brisa. On shut down for all the overcome because social is not snatcher. And most of people were saying that Sarkodie is rapping in peace, Sarkodie is rapping in our local language and as a native language, and you know, he's not going to go far, but yet, or they are going to be it nade. And you know, what are you saying? You know, yes, some more canon on war pet you. This is what Sarkodie is saying. But all the same, let's listen to him again on this note. The girl is asking her, And I know crap. Because you have to say, you are morphed. You are morphed out, you are local language, but yet, it me at the blended with. Brofono, it's me, and I say with the English, it's me the Nema. How do you do it?
Just go back and forth. I think so fluidly with English.
Yes.
What's your native language? I don't want to say it wrong ever.
So use CH and tree.
Twi.
Tree. Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying. But that's a.
Hey, like, what was a tree? What I want by a local language in my tree. We spell it TWIP because any tree, Ghanaian language, you know, Sanya spelling. But Sarkodie, Edmund Kola, we could imagine more was CHWIP. CHWIP. Hey, this guy is smart, oh, Sark, no. It's like, that's what I prepare you. Interview not one. I said, send no, I know you. No, all my reply, no. This guy is mature, though. He's mature. Oh, you need to task his hand, blah. We respect you, what do you talk about?
Because even when you're listening to it, I don't even know. I'm like, I can't tell. Sometimes you just switch over, and I'm like, oh, and then he's back.
And, that's deliberate. That's what I did. So when I started in Ghana, I was just rapping in tree and with no style. So I was very lyrical. So what I was saying, Ashantis, which is where I'm from, they understood what I was saying, so they could relate. But when I go to parts in Ghana where you go to the north or the Volta region, they still didn't get it. So I had to work on flow and delivery. So now, what you guys are experiencing now is the point where I want to please you guys as well. So that's why you can listen at this point. Years back, you wouldn't get it. You're like, what is he saying? Oh, there's no wow factor about it. But now I had to deliberately sit down and go like, how is Angela Yee going to appreciate this song without understanding?
Right,
okay,
right.
The people that I love from America, I love Eminem. When I was younger, you guys think how you're speaking now is normal, but this is an accent when you go to Africa.
Yeah, of course.
So as much as we're speaking English, a lot of people might not get it.
And she's from Chicago. When she speaks, it's an accent to me, and I'm from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
When I speak, people be like,
exactly.
yeah.
But then when we feel the music, we feel it. So that's what so why do they like it? Why do they like Busta Rhymes? Oh, because of how he's flowing. So then I had to work on that, and that's I'm still working on to get it to the next level, but that's what you guys are hearing now.
Someone, I'm being vindicated here. Sometimes as I say, yeah, make an abrabia. Now people like, no, it's our culture, it's our debate. So I always say, we are promoting culture, all right, fine. But business is far from culture promotion. Doing business is far from promoting culture. And Tinosak say Osha say and he was doing chi na no dey any bibia. But he got to extend some point in time or who say no. Even though it is dominant in Ghana, has say no, yeah, Ghana no. We are using chi more often. But then when he travels to somewhere in the northern part, they don't speak chi. So even though some of them speak chi, but Kino and Shadan more language, or Mono Shadatia Siri. And then he had to do something a bit to me please your monsoon. Then he did it. He did the blend and nakakra. And then when it comes to the foreign part and also with them no said the Ebeya or Munina Sunubet me, I get to hear of what he is doing and now what he is saying. He had to blend with the brofonon kakra. He's still working on it, said the Ebeya over to me and perfection, even though maybe I would do no sister and perfect. Sarkodie, this guy. Oh, dope, even though Nyanya perfect, but he's still working on it. So every day I say Ghanaians, why our artists, yanti omonka bebre no and I say young woman say omo flourish too high to say be Nigerians in the area no. It was are Nigerians better than Ghanaians in that note? No. But then kwanya for so issue ye dialect no ntina ebia omo no tumi kwanu mu because Afrobeat is full of English. And English so na versatile ko bia and people dance to it when they hear the words in them. I'm telling you, Terminator, the way Terminator is dominating Nigeria everywhere, and they are using it in all their videos, you can see, say, yes, Esan, assembly woman, the way I almost sit here, say, so when you do, and people understand it, even though, your local dialect, now people do not understand, yet people will dance to it, but it's not as compared to, say, Ebia you see the versatile language, So let's continue.
been doing some amazing collabs. So you like Chicago artists too. That's why I was like, oh, Chella.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that. How did that come about? I seen you had some stuff with Chance and Vic, right?
Yes.
Yep.
So started with Vic. I heard him speak. He's Ghanaian, so it made sense. And he was always in Ghana. And he's one of the few people that wanted to put his people on. So I saw it earlier on. He mentioned my name on a big platform here in the States. I was like, and we never met at that point. So
that's dope.
Yeah.
So I don't know how we met officially. I think through somebody. We met. Beautiful soul, a great person.
Yeah, he is.
It goes beyond music, and I like that. When you
And he said, he's talking about Point of Us on the Vic Mensa, Asia, or Mutumi, Kulabonadi. Yeah.
to actually have a bond and the music happens, that's great. But if it's just based on, oh, I know you have numbers and this and that, I don't believe in that. So it was organic. We had a great time. We drove around town and we made music. We showed the video. Then through him, I linked up with Chance. And he also came down to Ghana.
I remember that.
Yes, he was in Ghana. I think Chance tweeted at me when I won the BET Best International Flow, and I told people to come to Ghana. And then he said he's definitely looking out, coming, you know.
People did go to Ghana, by the way. Yes. We were just talking about that.
The whole little Ghana fest going on.
Now, were you there? You were there when everybody was there, right?
Yeah, because every Christmas I have one of the biggest shows in Ghana. So
that's why we're going this year.
Yes, I have to be there.
We got the trip to Ghana planned. All I know is we see the videos with the boats and the...
That's crazy.
I'm like, we need to get there.
It's crazy.
And the movies. I was just telling you about the movies. Like
on Netflix.
I'm addicted to them. I know all the movies.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. It's a beautiful spot to come to.
Yeah, Shella says something. Once Netflix, she is attributing it to Ghana, but even though Netflix ain't Ghana, Nigeria. Ghanaians, what are we doing as people said the movies and able to me put out? Because this girl is liking our movies. Maybe I'm into movie until me not movie as MP. I'll not leave it pass. Until the last also work towards our own. No, not for you to me and you can able to me I sell it and so you no movies no more. Because this girl is talking about Netflix. It's not for Ghana. It's for Nigeria.
If you want peace and security-wise, if you don't want to care about working at night and not nobody bothering you, that's Ghana. You know, very extremely peaceful, beautiful, and we love people coming from elsewhere to our country. We really know how to host. So a lot of your people are still staying there. They don't want to come back since Christmas. You know, they bought properties out there. They don't want to come back because the peace out there is crazy.
People do be like, I'm going to get a place in Ghana.
Yes.
Everybody say that as soon as they go.
Yes. Yes.
Well, so what was life like for you growing up?
Before I come to life for you growing up, Sark, wait. Sark, so that I admire you. They always can get a peace and how you can work in the night for... Yeah! Hey! Hey! I read me. What do you mean, can baby? Oh! Yeah, I said, baby, Debbie pay. That almost I know women and take on a free. Well, no phone, that's so. Ever for I don't say, I can phone call. One will say, yes, why mistake. But the same, Ghana is peaceful. And no doubt about that. Ghana is peaceful. But yet, you have to be very careful. Even when you walk in heaven and you don't walk very well, somebody may steal from you. Okay, so we are going to the life of Sarkodie growing up, no. Bisa questions for Hona for Yenti, the Sarkodie, can you on the papa and I'll leave it for a while, you know. It's full of questions, effort, ne life history. Why?
I grew up with my mom, 4 siblings, including myself, 5, in a city called Tema. Then I was taken to Accra, which kind of like built. I think to answer the first question when you asked about the garden thing, I think it started from when I had to live with somebody that I went through like serious hardship with the person. And it's kind of like, as much as I love speaking about it, I still feel like the person didn't know better. So me speaking about it now, I still think about how they feel. Because I didn't have the best experience with them, but I also kind of like understand that they didn't know better at that point. But then that doesn't take away from the fact that
this happened.
Exactly. So that created the whole laid back and watching stuff and not getting involved in too much and watching life from this perspective. So stuff that I say in the music, if you understand, I speak about stuff that I haven't experienced, but I like to observe a lot, and that creates this persona. So yes, it was a tough beginning. I didn't know where mom was, didn't know where dad was, and I was staying with this person, and I had to go through like serious hardship to be able to. So that's where I developed writing.
Okay.
And it turned into music, because I just needed a way to speak about what I was feeling, and I wasn't too much of a friends type of person, so it was a good therapy for me.
Sometimes our hardships is what make us really who we are today too, because if you think about it, you wouldn't have been writing and doing the things that you do if you didn't go through what you went through to be able to.
It was meant to tailor make you. My dad was not around because I was supposed to do something, and probably maybe if you never know, but if maybe he was around, it might not be this way, right? So now when we had a heart-to-heart conversation recently, which I love him for even stepping up to have the conversation, I still said thank you to him, because that situation created the Sarkodie you're seeing today. Because I'm saying stuff, the reason why Ghanaians love Sarkodie, which I know for a fact, is because of what I say. It's very deep for a young guy. When I came up, I was saying stuff that even the old people were not thinking about it. And it's because of what I've been through. So
let me chip in here. Asema Sarkodie kana eyade bia ehia pa. You see, he's talking about say life was not easy. Baby I didn't continue before no cry no ntine ma mention ntine papa nchen, but he had to stay with somebody. Until life was very hard for him. What I see him. And that is what taught him what he knows today. Minkanesa. And then the channel man baby asisia why and then man be patro more or patron utmi man ebia now he is a musician as he is today. So in this life, whatever life throws to you, make sure say you find something in there very very juicy for you, and you can turn it into something very usable. When life serves you with lemon, try to turn it into lemon juice, and it will taste good for you. What do you see? So that's it for the Sarkodie. Life history no go so all can. Find of us when papa Asia and papa and same now before
I'm thankful for everything that happened.
How did the heart-to-heart even happen with your dad?
So my mom, and that's when women are going to come in, not to put genders, but the drama that comes with mom, right? Mom sits me down and goes like, no, didn't sit me down. She didn't talk to me, but she spoke to my dad, saying that I'm disappointed in him and I'm waiting for an apology. I never said that, right? So now I see my dad at my house at the door. I open him like, it's all okay. I said, but you said I should come today. I said, no, I didn't say anything. So, your mom said, you said that you wanted to have a heart-to-heart conversation. So that's how come it happened. My mom just set that up so we can have a conversation. And when he started speaking, as much as, as a child, I was like thinking about what could have been right. But when he was speaking, as a man now, I'm not going to justify what he did, but I can understand. Just that maybe you dealt with it in the wrong way, but I get it. It was way easier for me to speak to him now. Yeah.
Has that changed anything about you? Like sometimes you feel like this burden kind of lifted when you are able
Funny
to
enough, maybe I don't know if I was thinking about it or not, but I'm the type of person that can just move forward.
Yeah, here Ghana is asking Sarkodie, so okay, your father was not with you. Oh papa na onye on niti. It's an ebia emphasis oh papa ejao. Now when you won't change. But then when no SSC muntamu no I left the bed in beer free work and I'm my wife free in a setting where now Sarkodie say okay.
Whatever that's happening, I'm looking at how I turn out to be, and that's what I care about. So I don't think I was having this weight on me like, I need to get this off, and I feel like there was some limitations here and there. I appreciate my biggest problem, which is my blessing, is that I always appreciate every situation. So my sister sent me a voice note asking, have I ever been sad? Because they never see me like that before. Never. I only cried recently because of my lawyer, but it's rare to catch me being sad about anything, because I understand.
There's so much to be grateful for.
It
Exactly.
is, but this business is also a tough business too, because it also sometimes can feel like the more success that you get, the more that comes your way. As far as like issues, you're like, we didn't have no issue. Like, where did
exactly?
Yeah, because
but I figured a way to. I need to Because I feel like I'm going to do this. Anything that you love so much, you figure a way to deal with it.
Right.
I don't see myself stopping this. Right. So why not strap yourself to be ready to face everything that it comes with, to be able to do it? So I think at this point, what can get to me is anybody that I love being affected by me.
Okay.
That's not me. Personally, I don't care.
You care about how other people are affected.
Yes, my mom, wifey.
I said, why is strong? We say you are like, oh, should have found your mom. Sarkodie is your own time, Supra. And then, lawyer now, oh, yeah, Nanka Supra, no, shadow soup, but lawyer and we and Usuya. I see your kind of granny sister share that text in the message. Say, now won't you Rahuda? That's it. Her life builds you in a tough way. You become very tough. Say, whatever happens in life, you taking it, say, it's just a lesson. Now, then you are going on. You don't sit to think of things to be sad. That's very true. We all have life stories to tell. Yvonne Nelson, I'll link you up so that you teach me how to write.
How are they feeling? That's going to get to me. But because they didn't sign up for this. My daughter,
by the way, love your wife.
Yes.
Because I saw she did an interview. And they were like, she's amazing. She speaks German fluently.
Yeah, because she stayed there.
Yeah, because she said she grew up in Germany.
Yeah.
And they just thought that, she minds her business.
I mean, she don't know this house. That's Tracy or tonight, Germany. How not tonight? Okay, I see how can German no rough. I don't know, how not tonight, That's Tracy. Sarkodie's wife for you. Gonna see me how do you because now I made an interview, they were also German, now speaking about you now, they know what you say, girl, no, you tell me you come about you,
And
that's typically how she is. From day one, she doesn't really love this whole showbiz stuff.
Right.
She's not really into that.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Well, fair enough. Now, how has the tour been going? Talk to us about that because you've been all over the place.
Yes, it's been beautiful. The last time I had tour, I do one-off shows by having a tour, which is always hectic. The reason why I ran away from it, because I hate the whole waking up and going to check in somewhere else, and then you can't settle. You always have to have your bags packed.
But you like counting that cash, though.
Yes. So I can overlook that and just go. So
and also getting to see people.
Exactly, and touch base with the people that listen to the music. So I just came from Europe, which is good. We did Amsterdam, Copenhagen, Antwerp, Italy. It was all great. Beautiful event. And then we kicked off here in the States with the Coney Island show with Skip Marley. That's Bob Marley's grandson. Yes, he brought us over. Then we did my show, which you were busy to come, but I was
at Patti LaBelle's house, but I would have definitely been there.
Yeah, but that was great.
And you have a special type of Marley, I guess, affinity as well. So talk about that too.
Yeah, that call came in and I didn't believe it. I keep saying I thought it was like when I rap and I say I'm going to do a song with Bob Marley, that would sound like a joke, like you're just trying to be funny, So for that conversation to start, I didn't believe it in the beginning until they sent the vocals. I'm talking about the original vocals of Bob Marley. This is a legend. That's a classic song. Stir It Up. And I was supposed to lay my vocals next to that. It was overwhelming. But I had my producers. They gave us the creative freedom. It wasn't too much of them trying to tell us what to do. So just have the vocals and do whatever you want to do with it. It was the best situation that every artist could ask for. So I had my people working on it, my engineer, my producer. Then we did it.
And you understand what you can say? You say I stir up about no said you buy now. You didn't too swell collabo no buy. They just gave him the he had to also put in his, and so it wasn't that so like say be on bet you say the be more can say hey Shatawale Beyonce dear Shatawale. Hey Mr. Man, you there? As if Beyonce Shatawale is a good nature. Oh yeah, corona cause there be and this anyways. And as Sarkodie say, was in and said I get that top. But then Otwaswa, two. But they had to take one. And the one they took, was the one Anna Pino Edosu. Let's listen to it.
I think we did two versions. The first version had English dominating because I was thinking, okay, it's gonna go to this type of crowd. So, but then they came back. The They said, no, we chose you because of your how proud you are of your native tongue. So we want more of that, and that's what you guys are listening now.
I love that. That's great feedback.
Yes.
Because that sometimes you try to adapt to what you think people will like, but what people like is who you really are.
Exactly.
And you seem to be real humble and just got a great energy, and just the way that you just speak and everything is like.
I appreciate it.
And I like how you speak on yourself in the third person too. I like that.
Shelly, you're gonna start doing that now. I can already see.
Yes.
And as far as your business, you know how good you are at business. Like, where did that come from? That type of knowledge.
I think that came from.
Job is say, who's any business oriented? I've been as a business because work right in person. You were the personal Sarkodie, and we have the personal the business Sarkodie here. So how do you do it? Let's listen.
Trying to figure out things on my own, and it built because I want to do this. I had to learn how to do it. I got to see how much more you gain when you reinvest. So it started from that. So I saw that when I shot good videos, I became in a league of an African artist moving from a Ghanaian artist. So I'm like, okay, so the more you put in, the more you get out. So it started from that, and then it just literally built around just trying to figure things out. I made a lot of mistakes because I didn't understand. It took me time to get on paid platforms, because in Africa we're not used to that. You know, we were still used to giving out free music, because that's when the masses can get it. You know, the masses still don't have that access where they use cards like Visa cards to purchase music. It's not that normal there. So if you do it all paid platforms, it's hard to reach the people with time. But if you want your music to like go viral today, it has to be free. So it took me time to really catch on with getting checks on online platforms. But then I had great people, and I like to keep people that can teach me something. You know, I like to be taught. So my business partner, she's amazing. You know, she got me a deal with Standard Chartered Bank as an ambassador, and I just saw how she worked that collaboration, and I'm like, I need you. I know I can't afford, but I need you around me. You know, so someone like her taught me how to have conversations with the corporate world, because that has been a bridge between entertainment, because when we're having the conversation, they don't get us and we don't get them.
Sarkodie is saying something here. It's very, very important, and it's very necessary for every young artist. When you have the talent, you have the everything. All that you need is a manager, somebody, and as a business partner, somebody who can lure you into contracts nowadays. And we are looking forward for that. Those kind of partnership or collaboration. Somebody who is well into the market system. No said you able to me, I go viral, and I say able to me and you be free, so as it should be. It's not that simple, and it's not that easy to get somebody like that. But then you the marketers, no market people, no more the market and to details say with schools, you have to make yourself available for these young artists, you know. You never can tell what you can do for them. Like this one date for Sarkodie, ambassadoria the man Standard Chartered Bank. It wasn't that simple. What I say? When you get things like this, who knew? Everyone is Sarkodie the blue, yeah. So what you say? So you the marketers, come on board. Mingle with these young artists. Na munja is almost around banks and unquano more than say, on moving is scale free no. I say, these talents you never can tell. Sika umupa.
We have Angela Yee, who understands me, and then Angela Yee gets into that circle. She would know how to marry it. So I like people that can teach me stuff, and that's how I learn. I learn on the job.
They always say you should never be the smartest person in the room.
No.
Right. And then you're in the wrong room. You got to figure out those circles.
Exactly.
So how do you think you can take Sarkodie to the next level? Because you're already right here, but I know you've been doing this all on your own. You know, so what do you think has to happen for you to take it to the next level? And what are some other things that you want to do? Because I can already tell just by your personality that it's not just music and tours. There's more things on the horizon.
And today, I think this is the last question I ever about to Sarkodie. What's the next level?
I think at this point, if I have to be honest, I'm in between thinking about Sarkodie and thinking about Ghana music in general. Because doing back to back what I've been doing over the years, yes, I still feel like personally I have dreams that I want to achieve, especially for the fans, because that's the main people that I do this for, aside myself. They really want to see me do good, and I can feel that, especially from Ghanaians. They want to see me do better and go more. So yes, I still look forward to doing that, but I think there is this ecosystem that has to be sorted, especially for my people in Ghana, to make it easier for these young superstars coming to do what I couldn't do or what my generation couldn't do. I wanted to push the conversation further than what we did, and I think that would be where my state of mind is. Personally, the fans hate when I speak like that because they still want me to speak about me and what I want to do for myself.
Yeah, but you, like you said, it was a lot of limitations and it was a lot of obstacles.
Exactly.
But because you know what they are, you can help knock those down and figure out solutions.
Exactly. So that's what I'm trying to do at this point, or I'm doing in a way.
Because you are rebranding your whole label, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So Ego Plug is I don't call it a label, but it has all that services in there. But we're trying to make it easier for that bridge to happen for artists, crossing over and making big moves and all of that.
All right. Well, I love to see it, and I am so appreciative that you stopped by because I know you were on this tour and you've been super busy. So it means a lot to me that you came through, and I also appreciate the fact that you were able to be really open about everything that's been going on.
It's Angela Yee.
We way up.
Yes.
But thank you so much, and for everybody here in the United States, the tour is still happening.
Yes, and the new album is out called Jams. It's on all platforms. Beautiful, incredible music, and we have some other singles coming up as well.
What's the next single?
I'm yet to decide, but I have one with Ludacris, which is like...
I saw y'all in the studio together. You guys linked up like a long time ago before that, too.
Years ago. He came to Ghana, and then Energy-wise, same thing. We just linked up on a good vibe, and then he came back years after, and we linked up again.
Because we saw that picture in the studio.
Yes.
So it looks... Okay.
So we have that single, and a couple more, which interesting single. I just did a record. While I was on tour in Europe, I met Ruger from Nigeria.
Nice.
And we did an amazing song. That's also a good song as well. So hopefully any of them can come anytime soon.
All right, super lit. We love
you.
to see it.
Okay.
Well, Sark, thank you so much for joining us. It's Way Up with Angela Yee Chella. Thanks for sitting in. Make sure she'll be in Chicago too, so you got to go to the show.
Make sure I'll be there.
Appreciate it.
I'll be there.
Maybe y'all can rap battle.
Okay.
All right.
First L.
It's Way Up with Angela Yee.
Whoa! So that is it. Interview ni nyina na abenawie na ebekona wie na the questions na obisa no say then what's the way forward? Na Sarkodie Echiro say yeah, he's coming out with an album titled Jams. Now in this before even the album there are singles released before the album ever out, but then he has something with Ludacris now. Also, he met this Nigerian guy Ruger, and so during his tour, also on a recording be. And this time round, the Sarkodie is going worldwide. And I think he said we should look forward for Sarkodie big time. The man is not resting. Yes, the man is not resting. Be it he still needs another. It's all awkward for the bigger one. And let's see how it goes with Sarkodie. So that's the whole interview for you. Please do not forget to subscribe to our channel. I've told you, sir, we always give you the full gist and not just a part of it. We don't like to give parts, the full. So subscribe to the channel first. God bless you for staying with us.